All right, we're live. Welcome. So I guess this is just gonna be like kind of like a one shot on the channel, which cool for us. We get a cool Monster of the Week one shot. I've changed the title so you can find the other video in live if you want to watch that first before catching up with us. But this is normally a stream that we do on another of our players' channel that is on Aza underscore app, right?
Yes.
Which I'll change and get a link in the description below on the YouTube side anyway. But since this is pretty much just like a whole adventure encapsulated, I figured it'd just be good to have a one shot on the channel in representation for Monster of the Week, which is a great game. So here we are. I will probably do a little bit of editing, but it's mostly, if you know Monster of the Week, it's powered by the Apocalypse system, so it's mostly not like VTT supported. Honestly, it's mostly just a theater of the mind kind of game. Though I might mess around and see if I can get the dice roller in here. Other than that, you can just have our in-game, in-world text app that we're using here on the side next to our chat heads. So, yeah, I guess with that, we're gonna get started.
All right. So, it has been a little bit as life does what it do. Would anybody like to recap how last session went? What is your investigation so far on this particular bounty on Callthulu?
Let me think. Might need a little bit correction on my end, but I believe it started with us finding the cave of bodies that were all missing their heads, but where the bodies seemed to be in relatively decent condition. Got jump scare spooked by a kid as a possible monster attack. Turns out they weren't the monster. Shifty eyes. Went and talked to. I think I have my notes here. I don't have notes. That was a lie. Talked to a very friendly older bird watching lady. Got a little bit of information on possible suspects that we could be on the lookout for. All individuals who had gone missing, and we were able to confirm a couple of them were the bodies in the cave, and that their demeanor had completely changed. Some of them appearing after they had already gone missing, and she had reported it as such. Going from there, we went to the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Well, half of us did.
Yeah, that's fair. The other half of us went to go find a rock for the kid.
There was a pinky promise made. You can't break that.
True. Jacob is particular on his pinky promises, and Liam's likes the idea, so he went along. Also, we just figured we shouldn't be alone ever.
No.
While at the ceremony, the other half of the group were looking around trying to find the possible suspects. Not really getting a lead, but seeing the kid and his father walk off to the bathroom area. both Liam and Jacob going through trying to find the rock. I actually don't remember if we found it.
No, we were cut off by your dog running away, running after something. A bit of like a staggered follow, and then a bit of an attack partway through.
Yeah, Liam went looking after the dog while Jacob tried to keep up behind, but ended up being stopped by the kid, who seemed to be genuinely touched that he actually was keeping the pinky promise to go find the rock, which we discovered very suddenly was actually a ploy by the monster, as the kid had been abducted much earlier, and lunged at Jacob. Not in the normal sense. Their teeth seem to extend outwards and go for him. He sustained quite a bit of damage before Liam could rejoin him, and was able to score a decent blow on the creature. I wouldn't say it was a particularly powerful one, though. And we are currently left in fighting for our lives, as the other half of the group has joined us after receiving the text message that there was an SOS and we may have found the monster.
I think it ended with them getting close, or at least for like actually
yes.
arriving.
Our ending scene was, in fact, everybody like running up the path, and Liam coming down the other side, as Jacob like stumbles out of the side of the like woods onto the path, clutching at his bleeding throat, as not Max, like just fucking pelts, trying to murder the shit out of him, of course, to clarify. Right, nice. Before we start, any questions?
No.
Okay.
Actually, well, I actually have one. It was gonna come up in game, but as like an in thing, but I want to make sure. At least in this game, being a modern setting with very like modern reactions to stuff, while playing a secret world of monster hunting, how much do you intend to make like gunshots a thing to consider and like make sure we're working around, like sound wise? Because my kit is mainly like gunplay. I'm fine with that being a limitation. I want to know your intentions before we get into a situation where like, fuck, what do I do?
In the magical, mystical ways of a TV show, some of these things will always just kind of like pan out in your favor. There will be times where like if it's like blatant and outright, it might cause problems like it did at the graveyard and like draw attention.
Yeah, when it's like right next to the
currently
city.
Like you guys are in the middle of a park, and it will be hard to kind of follow exactly where that is. So I will say that like you guys will be able to dip into the woods before anybody comes along, and also like it's not going to be a regular body. So
No.
like
Just
by that point the fox will be gone, but the body will not. You don't have to sweat it too much. Like I might make you guys sweat about it for a little bit and like put obstacles in your path about it, but it will never end the game or like take your character out of play.
Yeah, of course. I was gonna ask in this instance, like once started, like, do I, as Jacob Cooper, believe it is safe to fire a gun without like causing a panic? I feel like that'd be the method going forward, just to ask in these situations, so it's not like, so at least it's understood, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't right now.
It's kind of always going to be the balance of, does he think it's going to cause a bunch of attention and a panic, or does he think the failure to kill the supernatural monster is worse?
Yeah, of course.
He also now has a cop buddy that is able to help you guys out of some sticky situations as far as he's able to. So I will leave it to how you want to play your character, whether it is too much of an issue. I can assure you, though, that it will never actually stop the game or stop any of you from playing your characters.
Okay, of course. Because primarily it was like, is this going to be a thing where I need to buy myself like a movie suppressor and then like that essentially makes gunshots silent so we could recreate the John Wick 1 silencer subway shootout?
Yeah, it doesn't have any mechanical benefit really besides making like getting rid of the loud. So we can absolutely just take one of the other like gear things that are in this game, and that at least you would have access to. Unlike some people.
Yeah, it makes sense. I would. It was going to be a thing of me investing in that because I feel like it's just a smart idea. But okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you can absolutely invest it.
Cool.
And it will, of course, be the movie one where it doesn't really, it just makes that little noise as if that's how that works.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Silence on your shotgun, and it just, just pop.
That's the shotgun noise now. Okay, cool. Question answered then. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Quentin, Cameron?
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right. So, our screen black. Commercial's over. We see a mixed match of you all investigating, asking people questions, walking around the park. We see one of you like looking down. Who was the one? Actually, it was Tobias, wasn't it? Tobias looking down at something, and he looks up as if towards all of you, and we see the other three walk up, and then everybody, as the camera pulls backwards, looking at this den mouth. Slide through and seeing the horrified, horrifying sight of these bodies. The music makes that awful, high-pitched whine for a second. And there is an eeriness that follows through the rest of the scenes that leads to, inevitably, Jacob alone on the path, looking at Liam and Tyke's disappearing backs, and then quickly the dog bark fading. We have the voice line from Max of thanks. That made this really easy. And turning just in time to see the fox lunge. It cuts to black. And our opening begins. Darkness, the dawn, the shadows pulling back from the horizon line across an ocean, warping from tentacles to skyscrapers, and we follow the birds down into the city. We meet each of you where you are in our opening, and eventually we end up back again at the cafe table, looking down at a phone lit up with the Callthulu app's logo. We cut in. Adris, Tobias, you two are running down the path, leaving behind the groundbreaking ceremony that is taking part at the little central area on the side of the park. And as you two make it, you can see Liam and Tyke opposing you guys on the other side of the path, and in between you is Jacob stumbling forth from the woods, and he is clutching his throat, and there is just a wash of red. His hand, his arm, the front of his clothes, and dribbling after him as he walks, stumbles up onto the path. And you two see Max. It just seems like Max until you get to the neck. And then there's a strange, too thin, too long fox's face emerging from a stumped neck that doesn't bleed. But the mouth, of course, is coated in blood.
So are we jumping into the combat at this point?
Yes.
Okay. Like how far are we?
You guys are like running up, so you're like a little ways away. But time and distance don't really matter for this.
Close enough to notice all the blood, I assume. So.
Oh my god, that looks really bad.
The ear of the fox does like twist towards you guys as it hears you.
How's not a cop looking? Is he looking capable at the moment?
If I take one more damage, I'm unstable, but I can heal myself, so it might be better than it looks.
Yeah.
Just because that's
the name.
That's what he's doing. He's clutching his throat, like trying to ready himself, because he's been in situations where he's been like actually wounded and needed to press on. He has a bullet hole in his arm, like, to prove it.
As he like steps up onto the path, his swaying steadies a little, and you're not sure if it's because he's just not moving for a second, or if he is actually okay. Like, it looks gruesome, but if it's a neck or a head wound, it's gonna bleed like a stuck pig anyway.
Yeah, I would like to use my "it wasn't as bad as it looks."
We might as well go ahead and start with that, because that will kind of influence how everybody else goes. And initiative doesn't matter. It's fake. So if you would like to go ahead and use your ability. We'll see if it is not.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
This might be fuck.
It might be as bad as it looks.
That is.
Oh no.
Yeah, I rolled 2 1s there. Do I keep that?
If he fails, it is in fact worse than it looks.
Worse than it looked.
I can go become unstable, or I can get a harm wound on me, like a harm move. I could luck it.
I can try to use
better call here.
I forget what the term is in this game for using. Is it just use magic? Yeah.
I'm interested. The story is going to be fascinating either way.
Yeah, because alternatively, like, here's the situation I'm in. One hand, I keep it, gain an XP. Oh god, that is a neck wound. Like, if that you were going to bleed out, you need to get something on that. That is a tense situation. On the other hand, it is fine. I heal 2 wounds, and because I did use my FBI clout last session, it's gonna come back and bite me, just like the graveyard might. I might just get a really bad phone call. Even worse now.
They might show up at your house.
I
mean, yeah, it's a little iffy. Do we have any other healing options besides use magic at this point?
Well, I mean, we can just perform medicine, but that takes time, I believe.
Is that okay? So we can't do that in combat.
Mm-hmm. Unless you have an ability that allows it. Otherwise, it is stabilizing outside of combat.
Okay, so using magic,
only a certain amount, and then you like heal whenever you rest.
You know what?
The safer thing is to use your luck.
I am just going to use my luck. Okay. I would like to keep Jacob around, if possible. This thing hurts.
In a game where you're likely to die, having less HP doesn't sound like a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, having less luck is almost worse.
Yeah, I can save luck. I'll save it for moments where, like, oh, I could actually die here. Luck. The first one was for funsies. That was a funsy one. I can always undo it later. But yeah, I'm going to spend luck and turn that to a 12.
Is Roll20 acting out for anybody else?
No.
Not really.
Not currently, but I haven't rolled anything or anything, so.
Is mine being a little weird, like my roll?
No, it's mine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to turn that into a 12, which on a 10 up, I heal 2 harm and stabilize my wounds. Don't need to stabilize, but I do heal 2.
All right.
All right. So what happens? Describe it to us, because I have a good follow up.
There is a moment of just stumbling out, checking his neck, like clutching it, and he takes some deep breaths and almost just both as a like touching it, like okay, it's not as bad, it's not hitting the problem areas, it is just bleeding a lot. Kind of like raises up his tie a little bit, tightens it a little, making a growing blood stain on his tie. It's a very shitty tie, but still.
Okay. As you look like you're stealing yourself and getting ready to head back into it, Tobias reaches into his like traveler's pack, and he pulls out the silver sword that he showed before, and he's like, "Officer Cooper, catch!" And he's like spins and chucks it at you, and you got this, you got a silver sword heading your way.
Is there anything required to catch it, or can I just say I catch it?
No, you just get it.
Yeah, he just catches it for a moment. It's like, how are you? Where are you carrying this? What? I'll take it, but
Oh, he had the
Alright.
traveler's backpack. I described that
Yeah.
earlier.
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
just
it was bound up in like a cloth.
Yeah. Just carrying a sword around. I mean, I'll take it. I'll happily take it.
Well, in some mythology, some shapeshifters have a weakness to silver.
Good to know. Let's test this out then. As he like readies a stance as best he can. He's never fought with a sword before. He's seen movies though.
The creature, however's like jaw drops open, and there's just this wretched, weird, like whining, yapping noise out of its mouth. Foxes make weird fucking noises,
They do.
True.
and this is a weird fucking fox.
I don't know if that counts as my action
Alright.
or not, but
I mean, you guys can go multiple times. It's just a matter of other people. It's if you attack this thing, it goes.
Yeah. Well, I could do a kick some ass unless anyone else has any moves they want to actually do. Like any setup stuff, because that's pretty much my go-to is just murder.
Audra, so you're gonna try and fireball the fox.
Why do you say it's so accusatory?
It sounds like wizard behavior to me.
Also, it's fire blast. I don't have ball.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, no fireball. It's fire blast.
Fireball's
Ball.
copyrighted.
The is the area one. I have blast.
It's
But
like
just
instead of throwing a Molotov, you just hit something with it.
it does more damage. It only targets one thing. Does it look like I would set the entire park on fire if I use fire?
No, currently it is on a gravel pathway.
Well, that's convenient.
Also, we're in Oregon. I imagine shit's too wet to burn right away.
But no, I think I will. If I set up a wall, will that hamper him in any way, or?
There's a lot of room for this thing to move, and you guys are currently split on either side of it. So you will cut somebody off on a side with it. Currently, you are better off attacking or like another utility, I suppose.
Then, like, as we're running forward, that whole scene happens, and in the meantime, I've hurriedly pulled out my little lantern. There's a click, click. Hey, leave them alone. Look over here. And there's a burst of fire as he speaks a few quick Latin phrases, and a blast of fire will
Roll that shit.
Okay, it's been a little while, so okay. Kick some ass. Seven.
Yeah, yours is the lets you kick some ass while using magic. It just uses your thing, or is it actually the Yeah, it's that, not use magic, right?
Yeah, it's kick some ass with combat magic, which uses my weird. There's actually a roll button for it. I had been manually doing kick some ass and changing it to weird each time, but apparently there's a easier way to do it.
Nice.
We're learning.
Anyway, mixed success. It is a 4 harm. Magic, close, obvious, loud. It can spread fire, but I've checked that beforehand.
Yeah, it is luckily in the best place for you to be doing this. That has something flammable nearby. That does mean though that it gets an attack on you and will do harm.
Please God.
How do you attack this thing?
Yeah. So while he's all beat up and stuff, and to me it looks pretty bad for a second there, So I will run into a relatively close range at a different angle, to draw its attention to me instead. And, he clicks the lantern and the sparks fly out and produce a flame. And he just blasts the weird fox creature very obviously from himself and yelling out a taunt as well. So
yeah, as the plume of fire shoots forward, the creature recoils, and there's that awful fucking noise, just louder, and then it twists until it's almost like a human shrieking, and it bats at the fire, trying to drag it off of its, well, not its skin. As it shakes free of the flames, stumbling away, the dying light as the sun goes further behind the trees. It half lit in sunlight, half lit in fire, and the light gradually fading to leave one side of it dark. It charges you, and the fire catches on the body, and so long once it's off of its face, it actually ducks its head partially into the throat for a moment to put out some of the embers and sticks it back out. And when it sticks it back out, it just keeps coming. It lunges half out of the body, almost like a turtle extending its neck, and it will bite you for 3 harm.
There is nobody may see it, but there is a look of a bit of regret as he's like, "Oh God." And proceeds to get brutally mauled.
Yeah,
and it does, of course, go for the neck.
Desperately trying to fend it off. Trying to speak a new incantation, but it's just too much happening at the moment.
There's enough of you though that it does pull away from you with a jerk of its head, the pain lighting up underneath your chin, and it the kid hops backwards weirdly, as if for a moment he's just pulled up on strings, and drops, and for a moment is on all fours before he begins to that half stance back up to standing, looking at the other 3.
Okay. Not too bad for where.
Could be worse. It's as bad as it looks, though.
Not unstable yet, but
how much health you at, Q?
4.
Oh, never mind.
Oh,
you are unstable.
Yeah, I'll try to
I'm at
body.
4
I'll try to
7.
body check it and.
Oh, you're 4 out of 7. Okay, so
I
you've
haven't
taken
taken. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I thought you meant like how much I had left.
3. All right, he's not unstable yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I'd
just
love
as
to
bad
change
as it looks.
though.
Yeah, it kind of like backing off and looking at us. Liam will be like, oh, "Fuck," and he'll like go at it with the multi tool.
Get it.
It's gonna try to kick some ass. Okay.
Pat, please.
Kind of getting in there, crouched to the ground. He kind of like almost drops to a knee and stabs at the forehead of this creature with the multi tool.
All right, what is your damage with the multi-tool?
1 harm.
It whines piteously as you like stab in, and it warps until it sounds exactly like Tyke, and then back again. It kind of twists its head away, and with you closer and stabbing at it, it seems to consider something before it settles for snapping at your wrist. It closes in along your forearm and just drags down until it hits the meat of your hand and pulls away. It kind of like also claws at you, but Max's hands don't have nails, not like that. So it kind of just leaves red lines on your skin. But you do take 3 harm from the bite.
All right, that will take me to unstable.
Oh wait, can I know I just got fucked up, but well, I will try to help him anyway. I'd like to use my new ability,
All right,
shield spell.
go for it.
This might be applicable then.
Oh, I see. You want me to kidnap you, Devin.
Well, the first part is more applicable. Though if the
Oh
kid
yeah, I'm keeping in mind the second part.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can protect you more often. Power level.
All right, let's see here. Protect someone. All right. Yeah, it did okay. I get up 2 armor for it too.
Ah, sick. Okay. As what's the aesthetic of it? You actually will take no damage from this, and so this one, Liam.
Yeah.
And
He
you
will.
mark an experience for protecting.
I don't know if this is applicable. But maybe I can turn that to a 10.
I think if you've done the help action, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Yes, you have to take the help someone.
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, specifically the help out is you real cool.
Okay. Then. So Liam jumps on it after it jumps on me. And seeing as it is about to, tear him a new one. He'll give a raspy cough, pull himself back up, start speaking a shaky incantation, and kind of staggering forward, there will be a kind of silver line that goes across from him to Liam, and you will momentarily be surrounded in a kind of silverish flame that protects you. And yeah, at the same time, those flames will lick back toward me. It'll last for a few moments before there's kind of like a sound as the line breaks between us, and it will fade afterwards.
No, the creature goes to lunge, and it seems to be snapping for your arm specifically so that you like pull away the weapon. Seems not able to get at your neck as you're fending it off with a fucking Swiss Army knife of all things. But this fire bursts in, and it like pops back away, expecting to be burned. Neither of you take any damage. It snarls at you though. Tyke growls back, and then as soon as its eyes drop to it, Tyke whines and hides behind you. Still barking though.
He's doing his best.
He is not for combat.
He's a friend.
Yeah, and anything cool you wanted to do, Cam, or
I'm waiting for your next action.
Okay, cool. Seeing the scuffle, hopefully, like in the meantime of the confusion, Cooper runs up and tries to do like some overhead slice, something he's seen in a movie somewhere, like hoping it just connects. Gonna kick some ass.
Yeah, as you like charge up and you're swinging with the sword, it kind of dances around for a little bit. The kid is awful nimble, especially when puppeted by something as nimble as this. But as you're like, it's ducking under the blade, and one time it even like slides between your legs and snaps at your ankles to make you step forward. What do you do to end this little stalemate and get it?
As it's like distracted, he does his best to like wind it up. He does an overhead like diagonal slice. He's kind of expecting it to move out of the way, or specifically for even not to work completely. Like maybe it'll just bounce off. Maybe the sword's not even like razor sharp, or just kind of just a fucking metal sword that you'd buy like at a Ren fair or something. He doesn't really know. In this panic, he has investigated it. Runs forward, slices, and it is a deep gash, as I will pick for the extra effect. Well, actually, for what this is,
You probably should suffer less harm.
I probably should. That'd be a good idea. He's using the cut, and then immediately like moves the sword like sideways as a preemptive block for its trademark move of lunging for the throat, hoping to like catch its jaws on the sword instead of his neck. And yeah, I would like to take less harm.
All right, what is the damage?
Good question, Cam.
Is 2 harm, messy, and silver.
Alrighty.
He just do have these things.
It is very handy. I like that. I hope this carries on with the fight dynamic of like, okay, regular gun, and then Cam's like, wait a second, here's a weakness weapon. Learn a new fighting style, Cooper.
Oh, don't worry, I got a good follow up for this as well.
Oh hell yeah!
I don't know where he pulls out a grenade. Where did you get a grenade?
Like, as an ex-federal agent, I have to ask you about this later. You know you legally can't own this.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Jacob isn't supposed to legally still be owning or using the things that he has either.
Don't worry
But
about
that's
it.
a conversation for in character.
Actually, it's not illegal to have a sword. Tons of people
True,
have
it is not
swords.
illegal.
It's illegal to carry them in public.
Yes.
If anybody knows.
What are you doing right now?
Well, it was
Well,
hidden.
Jacob is currently carrying it in public.
I'll be the one who gets in trouble. That's for
Actually,
sure.
I was following proper protocol for carrying weapons throughout public transportation.
That is true.
The
It
weapon
Without
was
doubt.
bound in a
It's-
non-cuttable cloth and would require significant effort to unleash in a public place.
Bias did his research because he's a nerd.
I am
As
doing
is Cameron.
the legal thing too. Of I have a shotgun and an MP5 in my truck. It's
Oh
fine.
God. So you
America.
cleave into this thing and like carve it up to like catch the teeth, and as you do, you split open a lot of like the flesh on the front of Max. There's like a little bit of hang that gives, and you can see bone exposed, and beyond like those little patches of sternum and rib that you can see, you see a mass of orange and white and black fur where it is coiled up inside of his chest cavity. It doesn't do as much to the fox as intended, but it looks like the meat shield of Max is wearing away.
Poor Max. May
For
he
real.
rest in pieces.
You know, Agent
And-
Cooper. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
How much harm do you mitigate?
I have 2 armor, and then I subtracted 1 with my move.
All right,
So
then
3
you take nothing
Booyah.
as it like snaps its teeth down the blade, and you keep pulling through, and it's a victory because you did keep it away from you, but it just stays there until you slide the whole sword through. It's scraping against the teeth. It pulls back unnaturally so that it doesn't cut through the like lips as it finally curves out of its mouth. It skitters backwards, the gravel being kicked away.
Amidst this duel, Tobias will drop some lore on Officer Cooper here. Did you know that King Arthur might have 2 blades?
Okay.
Excalibur and Caliburn, specifically.
Thanks for the tip. I guess unless you have a second sword.
No, what I'm saying is that sword there is actually supposed to be, supposedly was someone's recreation of Caliburn itself. You can see runes etched along the blade.
He's like,
Oh. That's pretty interesting. I'd like to take a look at it when we're not getting killed.
Now, the Lady of the Lake was mentioned to be a fae, and if I'm correct, I might have researched the phrase to activate those runes. I not had the time. You have to say them aloud, though.
yeah, sure. Give me the words, I guess.
Alright, just say, air of fire, alight my blade, and I'm gonna use magic to attempt to enchant his weapon.
Hell yeah. You gotta say it with him though, because
Air of
that's the
fire,
word.
enchant my blade.
Alight my blade.
Alight my blade. You said enchant, so I.
I meant to say alight.
Oh no, you said enchant afterwards, and my brain latched on that.
Ah.
It's like when you're talking and reading something at the same time.
All right, keeper.
Alright, that is a... The effect goes off, but it comes with a glitch.
All right. And what is the effect you were causing?
It's enchanting. It's getting +1 harm and does magic damage.
All right. It will not do extra harm, but it will do essentially magic damage. It is a keener blade, but not in a way you may suspect.
Okay. So as you say the words aloud, the blade kind of begins to slowly illuminate as if it's wrapped in some ghostly fire.
Holy shit. Alright.
I can't
Alright, I can fuck
believe
with
that
this.
worked. Also,
You were
another
testing
great
this?
purchase.
I'm very impressed with just your foresight in these situations.
Oh, will you shut up? As the fucking fox mask lunges for you. Snap
for-
your fucking kneecaps to make you like stumble backwards with your blazing sword.
Yeah.
And then it points at you, Tobias, and you stop helping.
He's not even paying attention to the fox. Is like, the text said that it would glow somewhat brighter. This doesn't seem 100%
I
right.
think he said one of the
Angrily.
incantation words wrong. I think he said enchant.
I'm sure you can leave it a proper 4-star review as he's like going to go to try to swing again.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
it
just
was the
shrinking. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
Tobias is just in the zone.
He's just not paying attention at all. He's more
Tobias, you
excited
really gotta-
that the weapon actually worked as he intended it to.
Tobias, you really got to tell me where you buy these things. I keep finding fakes.
See, that's the problem. You need to spend more money.
I own a business to do this.
Everybody is arguing over top of Jacob having a fucking sword fight with a freaky monster that's like just dancing around, shrieking at him, telling all of you to shut up.
I do imagine this whole time, like, actual blows aren't exchanged, but he's
this is
swiping.
absolutely
Yeah.
happening.
There's like shoving each other. It is a full-on fight.
And like every now and then it'll like snap at your clothes and like put holes in like a shirt, and you're like, no.
I only have a few of these. Unless anyone has anything very pressing, I could just quickly kick some ass.
I did my thing.
Sure. As it looks like you're having like this duel off, Liam will like kind of like come behind the creature and kick it, trying to knock it off balance. You'll get a +1.
You just kick out the back of a kid's knee.
Hell yeah! I'm a grown ass man. It's not my fault. It's just
It's
the poor
actually
little
like
child.
honestly a little humorous, like how quickly the leg like bucks and just slaps into the ground.
Nice.
It's a little fucking kid.
Alright, so I add a +1 to this.
Yep.
Yes, you have been helped.
Cool. That's an 11.
Nice.
I'm going to reduce harm yet again, as at this point he's kind of catching on. It's doing some of the same attacks over and over again, like, you know, as a predator would, trying to go for that quick, like that quick kill. He's able to read it and instead like uses the sword and pushes like its head away as it's lunging for his neck, like moving out of the way after a very like good slash towards like the front of it again, one finally connecting.
All right, and what was the damage for that weapon again?
I think now it's 2 in magic, because the harm did not gain extra harm from this.
All right, you are able to get past the remainder of its armor, and as you cut into it again, you like skewer part of like Max's shoulder, and the fox like bites onto the sword and like jerks itself forward weirdly, like its neck folds and shoulders, like it more neck comes out of Max's, and then the shoulders, and this thing just unsleeves itself, dropping Max.
Ugh.
It is long and gangly, like basically like a fox, regular, like a red fox size, but its torso and its neck and tail just kind of keep going more like a ferret, and it's really, really thin and emaciated looking. You don't necessarily see like bones sticking out uncomfortably. It just looks too thin, and its shoulders are off. They're very close to the body, and they roll like strangely. Seems like it doesn't have a collarbone or any type of like restraining like connective material there. And when it walks, its whole body like wavers like a snake's. It's a little sickening to watch, on top of the rest of everything about it. It licks its lips, looking at your throat.
Getting a good look at it now, Tobias is gonna try his best to figure out what this creature is, or if he has any kind of knowledge on what might be helpful here.
I also don't remember, but did you guys use all of your holds for questions?
I have no holds at the moment, so I'm gonna assume that I ran out of them.
Okay.
I didn't roll high enough to get a hold.
It's been too long. I know I had one at one point, but like I don't know if it was this time.
You can mark it in your box. So you
Yeah,
don't
in the
forget.
investigative mystery section.
Investigative mystery. Well, I didn't mark it here, so I'm just gonna assume I don't have one. All right.
Okay.
One hole. What sort of creature is it?
This, while it's not like a popularized creature, the name seems almost too easy. And clever enough you probably wouldn't think of it off the bat way. That it is a fox, spelled like foe, F-A-U-X. And this is a almost parasite of sorts. Based on what you've seen, this thing obviously ambushes people, eats their head, and is able to mimic sounds and their faces. It hollows out the inside of them, slithers inside, sticks its head out, and then takes on their guise. And then it just plays people. Until, of course, it finds a new target that it wants. Given that it has attacked animals and those ones are left rotting, it seems it's able to do something specific to people. Or it can optionally choose to do this. It seems more likely that it's just a waste of time and effort to preserve something it's not going to pretend to be. And it's not fitting in a bird anytime soon. So yeah, it is not a supernatural creature necessarily. It seems like most of its powers are grounded in like its physicality. Given how much it is currently like drooling, it probably uses it as almost some type of embalming fluid.
Alright, so just kind of like your
Actually,
bog standard cryptid.
Yep. It is just a little beast.
Just a little.
Its ability to
creature.
withstand you all so far has mostly been a matter of you weren't able to really hit it most of the time.
That was a sturdy ass kid.
Kid, and also it's very easy to dance around. It's a fucked up little abomination, and also none of the organs inside the kid matter,
It's fair.
nor does blood.
We have
Carcass armor.
done horrible things to this kid's corpse.
I was gonna do horrible things to everybody else, so
Yeah.
You can always take a
Unfortunate.
picture and
We can just never explain this.
Yeah, it's good that we got it early, because
Yeah, it would've been
it was going to
worse.
get much worse.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're doing good here. It's just we could never explain this.
When Tobias figures it out, he's just like, I don't think I got any more tricks on this one. This just seems to be kind of just a hit it as hard as you can type creature.
excuse me? I'm so much more than that. It like twists around to look at you. Its little thin legs just scampering against the gravel. You can hear it clatter.
as it
I'm gonna
turns,
take over this whole city.
As Tobias notices that and he sees Cooper get into place, I'm going to take the opportunity. I'm going to help out. and I'm just gonna distract the creature so Cooper can hit it harder. It seems already annoyed at me as is.
It does seem to be, wink wink, arrogant.
I'm distracting it. I'm making myself more antagonistic towards it. The talking, ignoring it this whole time, but it is leaving it open for a +1 or +1 forward on your next roll there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will expose you to harm. While it was pretty engaged, not necessarily interested in Liam kicking out its leg, it's real pissed at you now. You just won't shut the fuck up, and it really hates that for you. For it, actually. So it dives under Jacob's arm and just is skittering for you. It moves in such a weird warbling pattern that like the swipe of a sword just completely misses. Like its torso just lifts up and out of the way before the rest of the body follows the momentum, and it lunges. Because you've opened yourself up to harm but didn't really do it to it, I will reduce the damage, but only to 2.
Well, you could split the damage between me and Cooper, who's about to hit it. I don't know what it means by expose yourself to trouble or danger.
It would be like on its attack. So you do have to hit it first, Jacob. I mean, not technically in terms of damage. It goes for him though.
Yeah, I would like to immediately step in and try to prevent damage by taking it myself. Kick some ass.
Pop it.
Oh,
man, you're
doing very good on my damage stuff. Yeah, I'm going to suffer less harm again, as directly this time, trying to like run up in this time instead of like a slash, he tries to do like almost like a plunging stab, trying to catch it in place. Maybe doesn't like fully skewer it like in the midsection, but he's hoping like stab it through, force it around, put himself in between Tobias and the creature.
Yeah, protect someone and kick some ass are different. Are you trying to force it where you want to go, or are you trying to?
No, that's more flavor.
Reduce harm.
Flavor of what I'm doing.
Okay. I'm just clarifying.
If possible, I will reduce harm just for Tobias, but
yeah,
I doubt
it's not attacking you. It is attacking Tobias. So you can use the fact that you have an extra effect to reduce harm to him, which would leave it at the 2. I was dropping it because it was kind of out of this version of Action Economy, but then I realized you're helping a roll, so that's the roll that you open yourself up to danger for.
Yeah, of course.
So Tobias will take 2 damage. It bites at your throat, and it is pulled back before it can really get a good clamp in there. It is skewered on the sword, though. It just kind of looks back at you where the sword is like stuck through its like lower torso right before its hips.
Like at that eye contact, just specifically, he was about to open his mouth, but he immediately like caught on to what Tobias was like trying to do, how to help out. The moment of eye contact, there's just that I don't know about running the whole city.
Its eyes just narrow.
Tobias staggers back. He's like, "It's pinned! Now's our time!"
It starts like trying to whip around and keep snapping its teeth. Because of like the weird catch at its hips with the sword, it can't quite get Jacob as he just kind of keeps stepping and like moving its body in the way, stuck on the sword. It is just shrieking. It's so angry.
Tobias's call, and Jacob like holding it there on the sword, and be like, "Oh fuck!" Go at it with the multi-tool again. Success, but I take some damage.
All right. Let's see. All right. Frustrated as it is, and in growing perilous concern, you deal 1 damage to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is going to use its shriek.
Oh, fuck.
An AoE
No.
that stabs at all of your ears, like grating nails on chalkboards directly into like a mic that's giving feedback. It's horrific. It makes your whole skull vibrate, your teeth and your gums. You can feel the roots. As all of you take 2 harm unless you are able to protect from the sound.
What are some methods of protecting from the sound?
If you have gear or an ability about it that isn't, I have body armor on.
Yeah. I use my body armor to cover my ear.
I pull out my old revolver and pop my eardrums first.
It is deeply injured. It is on its last legs, and it is its last bout of effort.
So, I'm just gonna toss this one in because this might actually reduce it for me. I get armor because I'm just aware of what's happening around me at all times. Does that count? Like I can catch it before it starts?
You will have to let go of the sword. And you
Free
lose your ability to like affect its ability to attack other people, including yourself.
I'll take it then.
Yeah, there's a chance it won't be able to really act on it yet, but you can let go of the sword and cover your ears just in time.
I take the damage.
Still stable.
Unstable. My head's spinning, staggering backwards.
Yeah, there's your ears are bleeding, in fact.
Just fall on my ass. It's like,
Tobias will also
the
fall
scene right
unstable.
after an explosion.
He's already recoiling from being bitten just a moment prior, and he was caught off guard. So what's unstable do again?
Alrighty. So, unstable. Unstable wounds require first aid to become stable, while unstable, they may get worse. So, as fits the pacing of the injury that you have, I can just make you take more damage the longer it goes without somebody doing first aid or an ability being used. They do require either a healing move, time in an infirmary, hospital, or magical healing. Because the one that has pushed you all into unstable is the sonic one rather than an attack, you are not likely to bleed out, but you are not going to heal unless you have a healing ability or you go get medical help after this.
Gotcha. If I'm able to act, I would like to I'd like to use magic. Though I do think. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you guys can act. It's horrible in the moment, but it actually takes the moment to gloat as like 2 of you drop. One of them's dropped the sword. It turns to look at fucking Tobias and just goes, "Ha!" Like a mocking like woman laughing at you.
I do think it says in here. Well, no, that's something else. Hold on. Let's go up here. Use magic. Okay, use magic. Gotcha. Okay. Then. So I can just roll?
Yep.
Okay.
I am trying to use magic heal 1 harm from myself.
Alright, you may do so.
Then yeah, sitting on the floor, they just barely paying attention to anything, but trying to, trying to recover, knowing the situation. They shakily pull out their wire, wrap it through their fingers in like kind of a pattern motion, and will mumble the incantation. And yeah, they will heal themselves one. Still below.
Still unstable, you mean?
Yeah. Because I was 2 under the like midpoint and stable point. But yeah.
Tobias is kind of like shocked, his very unstable due to probably a rupture in one of his eardrums. He's looking at the creature that's kind of like leering down and mocking him. He sees Archaeus doing that thing, and he does vaguely remember in the last event Archaeus healing someone as well. He's not super practiced at it, but he's going to attempt to mimic the art. He's going to also use magic to heal himself by 1.
Fuck. Mixed success.
I...
Uh-huh.
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 Mm-hmm.
I think this will be interesting. So, for the narrative, I'm going to use my luck to make that a 12.
Oh.
Alright, you may do so.
Welcome to the club.
How much luck have
12.
you spent?
That's my first one.
I see.
Yeah.
But I find that this is why I like the idea and I find it interesting. You discover something happening now is related to something you were involved in years ago. So whether it's the magic itself, or maybe this event is some shock that's like revealed some hidden memories, who knows? But his talent really begins showing as, despite not being very well trained in magic, he's able to replicate the effect nearly flawlessly. He has really good memory. And he actually goes back to being stable.
Oh. Big.
Goddamn.
Alright, sick. Also, because you have made it a 12, I get to offer you something extra.
Ooh.
As you are trying to mimic this, there's this nagging sense of familiarity. Not necessarily with Audris, but with... and not even necessarily what he's doing specifically in this moment. There's something else. It's like catching a scent on the air, and what is that? I swear I know it. There's something familiar about Audris, and it's not necessarily him. But you are focused, and you manage to replicate the effect, and there's kind of this moment where both of what you are doing kind of synchronizes. Both of you heal an extra 1 as you heal each other as well.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh, sick.
Make eye contact.
He looks over and he's smiling somewhat, but then there's just this perplexed look on his face.
Oh.
It's a shame you don't know more about him.
Oh, wow.
This Archaeus.
But you said you weren't that good at magic. So he kind of starts pulling himself up.
The fox rolls its fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, in
He's
the
already-
background, like the camera's like focused on this like moment between the two of them, and the fox is like in the middle, like looking up at the sky, like.
He's
gargling upset.
hoping to save the fox from more of this. While they were healing each other, Cooper is gonna kick some ass. He's gonna try to kill this thing like once and for all.
Here, let me help you.
Lost in the midst of its dramatics. What are you guys doing?
I'll help as well.
Yeah, if you have any setup for this,
But
I have an idea.
Because you haven't attached the sword, right?
Yeah, essentially my plan was to like pull sword out, replace it with foot, and just decapitate, or at least try to.
Liam runs over. He's like, "Here, slam it on this," and he'll stab his like U-tool into the ground, positioning it just below your sword, in an attempt to add another point of contact for it to take damage. We'll power the heart.
Fucking Liam just books it over, and he does like this fucking slide on his belly across the gravel, like the multi-tool out. It like scrapes up the undersides of his arms, but it like he just slides in perfect position, and he has the like pointed like sharper edge pointed directly up. If you pull the sword and you succeed at hitting it, you can just crack its spine down and you'll cut through with the sword, but you will also throw it down onto the smaller blade, gutting it further.
I will follow along. Fuck yeah. That's a 14.
Holy moly.
Jesus Christ. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, it is. He goes along with that perfectly. In this moment, like that moment where like almost.
Did I die or you?
I think Alex died.
I think Alex died.
Alex
That's very
died.
unfortunate.
He's still saying it right now.
Huh?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, you cut out just as you were describing it.
No, that's so annoying.
Wait, it stopped as soon as like, oh, I'm going along with it, and then it just died.
Okay.
And it's just like,
nothing dropped on my end. Like it was still lighting up. I could hear all of you fine. Weird. Okay. I was just like, man, interrupting me mid thing. All right, that's a move.
All right, go for it.
Yeah. In this moment, following along with Liam's plan, you have that like cinematic slow down of time, as like kind of watching him slide forward and like, damn, this guy works at a fucking gas station. Like impossible. Like this is more dependable than a lot of dudes I've worked with like in my job. And yeah, he follows along like as catching on midway, as like you're saying, you know, the instructions, he's already following through, and with that just crack, completely like cleaving it in half. Going literally perfectly and better than you could have ever imagined it, Liam.
In fact, as it's like cleaving through this thing, you both hear like this tink as the edge of the sword clicks in, and it just meets perfectly on like the uplifted like point of the multi-tool, and there's like a spark in the midst of the corpse as the blade bounces back upwards, the light catching and gleaming along it. That was kind of badass.
That was sick.
And it is cleaved in half. It kind of like drags the front half of its body for like a little bit away and just gurgles up blood. And it fucking glares like it can't believe this is happening. It keeps going to try to talk, but the human voice starts warping and wavering and fraying until it's just a dying fox.
And Tobias isn't even looking at it.
It adds insult to injury.
He's just looking over at Aja's, trying to think of
insult
where
to
this
corpse.
memory comes from.
Still having that moment.
We're still having a moment. This thing's dying next to us.
There's like the bromance music of like there's like this moment between like a pair of like cool badassery. The mages are just like, where do I know you? What have you done? Both of them healed better. The other two have just slain this thing in half, cutting sparks as their blades meet. It's just in the middle, looking fucking furious before finally it just collapses and its eyes go lax.
I like to picture like just cinematically, like there's that like long shot of you, both of them completely in frame, like standing across, as like one of its like its arm or something comes like flopping towards, like as it was like cleaved off in the slice. Just like they don't notice or pay attention to it.
I love the dichotomy of one side is like serene music, the other is doom music.
Yeah, it's like the music is oddly like laid, like where you could tell it's both like the rising crescendo, but it's also like this like low melody, just like perfectly harmonizing. And in between it, we just hear the muffled sound of the fox trying to speak words and gradually becoming just a fox's noise and then joining the music as an instrument. And you guys are done with it.
Oh, fuck, that worked.
Holy fuck, that worked.
Oh, fuck, that worked.
Oh, it's been slain.
Yes. He hands the sword back, like looking at it, like I don't know how to turn the flames off. He's like very careful to like not touch you with it.
The second you release the blade, the flame dies.
Oh, okay.
And he's kind of like in the moment, just so much just happened right now that he's processing, but then he like snaps up and looks and he's like, we need to take a picture of the fox and then we need to leave. There's a massacred child laying right over there.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do that.
We should definitely get out of here.
Phone out, taking picture with Callthulu.
Tobias is going through the arduous process of wrapping the weapon appropriately.
With at least with Cooper being not as badly hurt, his weapon handed off, he's taken the reins of a real quick snap the pick.
Tobias also happened to bring a rag to clean the blade off, just in case.
I'm gonna burn the evidence.
Well,
the forensic team's gonna get the one up on us.
Let's just start spraying our blood with ammonia.
No, I said I'm gonna burn.
Oh, that's fair. But like as everybody's doing that, Liam kind of like gets at his ear, and kind of like his mouth open, and is kind of like fiddling with his ear a bit.
You all right?
Yeah, that's just the second time that thing screamed. I should be good though.
Sounds a little muddy outside of one of your ears, but it's probably fine, right?
We can do some first aid. I can get some magic healing on you. We'll be
There's
fine.
some fun audio design where every now and then, like, the other characters, as like the camera swaps around, get like weirdly muddled or wavering.
Oh, great time.
Question, and it's going to be very weird.
Answer. Go ahead.
So we can assume the fox ate this child's head earlier today, correct?
Today, could have been before. It's able to pretend to be people, and if it knows them well enough, it's pretty good at hiding.
Well, the child was here, came to the park today. The body is currently inhabiting. Yeah. Cause is there anything left after the photo from the phone?
If you put the phone over the fox itself, take a look at it through the camera, it does do that fall apart and disappear thing. And if you do catch the child in frame, it lights up as a fox husk and will disintegrate too.
Damn, I was hoping we could get some of the kids' teeth.
You want kid
That is
teeth?
weird. You do know, however, in the den there are other children.
Well, it
Oh,
was
that's right.
inside the fox. Probably.
You mean like getting the fox and seeing if you can get at it?
I'm just saying there are no shortage of Fae interested in children's teeth, strangely enough.
If you
Oh.
ask somebody to wait, you can do so. If you want children's teeth.
Yeah, like you just said it
you
to us. I
did-
think that's reasonable.
I will only say, I will probably make you roll for it because you did almost have a full mental breakdown earlier about cutting into bodies.
True.
And digging a child's chopped off head out of, like, partially digested out of the stomach of a fucked up fox is a little...
No
Well, much.
worries. Because if I'm acting under pressure, I've read about this sort of thing. I can use sharp instead. He's already adapted to the grotesqueness of what we're doing.
You're such a little freak. You're so normal. Said no one ever. Yeah, should go for it.
Make success. I don't actually know what that does for act under pressure.
I give you a worse outcome, a hard choice, and a price to pay.
Ooh. But yeah, so he'll go up, and before you take the picture, he's just like, one moment, please. He begins, I guess, rooting through the fox's long torso, trying to locate its stomach.
Ooh.
All right.
Do you think this would help? He hands you the multi-tool.
You gonna help me? Give me a +1.
The tool gives you a +1.
Oh, cool. Then it's a 10.
All right. I don't have you lose quite a few layers of skin with its very intense stomach acids.
Oh, great. The embalming fluid.
Yeah, between the embalming fluid, saliva, and some very robust bile, this thing isn't a pleasant thing. Like, you would die if you tried to eat this thing. But with a 10, you do manage to carve into its stomach, realize that it is insanely acidic, and avoid any detriments to your health. And you are able to, with the multi-tool, hook it on the orbital socket of a skull and lift it up. Some of the teeth, there's just enough like flesh left on it. Like, this is stripping it very quickly. It's also been a couple hours, so seems like it's strong enough to chew through meat a lot quicker than normal, but not quite that bad. The bone, it seems, is intact, and there are a few teeth still clinging to the skull that haven't had the gums entirely, ate away at.
Ooh.
I will add a child's teeth to my inventory.
Moment over. This dude just dug through this thing. God.
And then everybody makes this much easier on all of them by just sweeping the fucking phone over the thing and making both the husk and the fox just vanish.
Yep.
They'll never find the
Disintegrate.
body.
No.
Parents
but...
will be the ones that are like out there
We
20
should-
years
we-
later
we
talking
should-
about their missing child.
Still, we should probably avoid parrots because we are also fucked.
Oh yeah, you guys are super fucking mangled at this point.
Yeah, we need to.
Covered,
dig
drenched in blood.
I also have the child's scratch marks on my arm. I don't want that.
We gotta get out of here.
We're getting out of here right now.
Do you guys go back to the den for the other husks?
Probably should.
I don't think it's necessary tonight.
That's fair.
If anything, if I wasn't aware that we could take a picture of the husks and get rid of them, I was just going to probably inform Officer Weber, have that dealt with normally. If anything, closure for those victims.
It might bring attention to ourselves.
That is
I don't know. Maybe we should just make it all disappear.
physically I could. I just don't want to come across those parents again.
Yeah.
I can come back tonight.
Well, the problem is, if the kid goes missing in the middle of the night, there's likely to be a search pretty soon. Granted, the space we found, not only is it not quite easily visible, but it is indeed, like, looks similar to an animal den in many ways. I'm sure something like that might not be noticed right away. It's worse if we're found in the park tonight, of all nights.
It is. I can go do it. The only thing is, I don't know. Do you have a hoodie or something I could toss over this? His tattered clothing. If you have, I can just throw it over. Go deal with it. As you three go get medical attention, and I catch up with you later.
You're the one who met the parents personally. You're the last one who should have any chance of being caught here in the park at all.
It's true.
Liam.
Liam, I don't think. No, he was talking. It has to be Archaeus or I, because neither of us really spoke
Archaeus
to anyone.
was also there.
I didn't speak to anyone, so I guess I'm gonna go do it. Alright, that's fine. But you should not be caught, Officer Cooper. You're already probably, if what you said is true last time, in not a great position to be noticed by the public.
At the very least, I'll get some uncomfortable questions and asking to help find him.
We should consider this if all of these events are going to make us look really suspicious.
No.
It's alright. As long as I don't get seen, I can create an easy alibi for myself.
All right.
All right, I trust you. I guess in that case, do you want us to head out now, or I can always wait and drive you home or something? Just wait in the parking lot.
Again, you should be the last one anyone sees anywhere around this park tonight.
You get out of here. I'll hang around just a little bit waiting for you. Once I see you're safe, we can both get out of here.
Yeah,
Sounds
I'll go with
good.
Archaeus.
Then I'll just head home.
All right.
All right. Place his hand in the middle of the group.
Looks down.
Okay, Tobias just leaves. He's focused. He's nothing else exists at the moment.
Oh.
Tyke sits up and gives paw.
There is a like, Cooper is getting ready to leave, but he's also sees that. Almost also does the like leave part, but then there's just like a really quick and like not very exaggerated. It's a tiny little like touch hand, raise slightly, then immediately turns.
He's happy about it though. It raises. All right, Tyke, let's get out of here.
And yep, immediately like does his best to just rush to his van and get out of there.
Well, is there any further complications, or is...
No. The groundbreaking, you all unawares, continues on. The thick trees of the park and the slightly ominous air just kind of eats so much of the sound. It never makes it over the trees to everyone else. The parents and a few others, including some police dragged away from their security detail at the event, spend a good bit of time that night looking around the park and eventually having to give up. Max is added to the missing persons list. You all walk away with in your inventories a fox pelt. For your valuables, you have vials of fox saliva. Each one apiece. It's $810
Oh,
if you turn it in. And from the husks, of which there are 6, you get fox husk arteries, which are perfectly preserved veins that can just kind of be pulled out. Gross. Luckily, you don't have to do that because the app does it for you. Each of those is the meaning of life, which is being a host for something horrible, evil, no good, and bad, and dying probably horribly too. 42 divided by your 4, and then times 6, you all get 63.
Can someone write this?
If you turn it in. You get fox saliva for 810, and then fox husk arteries times 6, which equals out to $63.
And how much was the pelt? If we redeem it?
That's your trophy, like the angelic
okay.
statue. Those have no costs. You can redeem them, or you can keep them in your inventory, but you cannot turn them in for money.
Yeah, the artery and vial, like, he gets in the van, quickly checks the app, presses money redeem on both of those to cash them in. He needs that money.
Yeah, you turn them in, and you get a nice little notification from your mobile banking app that you have more money.
Oh, thank God. And then peels out of there to his house.
The IRS would like to know your location.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
As Tobias gets back and hops into Archaist's vehicle.
Yep.
He's dirty now. Dirtier, I guess, having crawled into that hole again. And
oh yeah, even more stuck to you because you were all bloody.
Yeah. Well, it's fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. Most of the blood's just around his neck. It didn't get all over necessarily, but it doesn't look great nonetheless.
Yeah. Car's like a. I don't think I've actually ever said my car. It's like an old Lincoln. Fucking. Looking at the cars, it's like the Lincoln Continental, like a 1970. Looks. It's seen better days. Especially once we climb into it and get all of our, disgusting on the vehicle. But, after some choking, it starts up and we drive on.
As you all have scanned the thing, you each on your phones have notifications congratulating you on a hunt well done, that you have new items in your inventory, and for those who turn them in, that you have some new money in your bank accounts. All of you also, not long after, I assume, Liam gets in his car, all of your apps also ping with a message in the chat. What does Liam say?
Liam, mostly messaging Wang Ming. It's just like great success on the mission. Was terrifying though. We can tell you about it when we meet up again.
Not too much later, there's like the little typing bubble, and everybody gets the little salute 07 glad y'all are succeeding out there. I think my exams are going all right, and I'm finishing up most of the projects pretty well. Not mauled to death by a fox. Good job. Go team as everybody splits up, leaving the park. Late into the night, exhausted, bloody, ouchies, multiple places.
Probably going to be having a continuous ear ring for a while.
Well, that was morbid.
Indeed, though fascinating in a lot of ways.
I nod. Didn't know these kinds of things were just happening around me.
I don't think we would have known if it wasn't for the app. That is interesting. The creature didn't seem to have any supernatural presence. Would that just be classified as a creature? Like an animal? Or is there something else to cryptids that make them cryptids?
Wouldn't know the specifications, though it did seem to have some type of magic. I don't know if magic's quite the right word, but for lack of a better term, some kind of magic. It's not like it was able to control the bodies through any natural means.
Paranormal would technically be the terminology. It had some kind of paranormal qualities, which is different than supranatural. One comes from a different place of like mysticism or something existing outside the world. Another is a different interfacing with reality, something that operates on a different scale that we just don't understand, at least as a species. He seems drawn into this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot different than when you first met him and everyone thought it was some kind of AR or ARG style game. It's like a budding obsession.
I got you. Yeah. Archaeist is interested in these things as well, though. They probably do not have as much of the like obsession feeling at the moment, as they're, kind of beat to shit. But they are intrigued, nonetheless, by just the general goings on. I'll say.
If you want to mention the magic part, though.
Yeah, I was about to.
As Tobias is too focused on his speculations between supernatural creatures and paranormal entities.
I saw you kind of mimic that spell. Did you pick that off just seeing me do it, or did you find something on it?
His eyes bounce around for a moment as you kind of snap him out of his focus, I guess. And he says, it's hard to explain. Before I mentioned that I don't really have any proper experience with any of this. I've just done extensive research onto various, tomes, mostly around things like exorcisms and religious rites and everything like that. But I saw what you did, and I mean, situation was dire. I figured, what would be the difference if I tried to do the same? I don't know if it's that easy, but there was also something familiar about it. When I was looking at you and casting the magic and we had that synchronization, there was some vague deja vu like effect.
Did you ever have any weird things happen around you as a kid?
I mean, not that I'm aware of necessarily. But
never thought you could possibly have weird powers or maybe a dream.
no, not necessarily. I don't think anyway. There was something that reminded me, but it was a vague sense. I think it's that book smell you tend to carry on your clothes. It's no offense to your, personal hygiene or anything. It's just there's
Probably
something. Seeing you triggered something, but it wasn't. I know we have never met before. I'm sure anyway.
I don't recall. Nothing substantial, surely.
And I mean, my family were not particularly interesting. I mean, I grew up in Pennsylvania. Salem, funny enough. Maybe something about there.
It nags a bit thinking about home.
We definitely had a resonation there, which, I mean, and not to mention the fact that you're actually successfully using magic. Maybe it's something that's, well, you're coming into. I discovered this about myself when I was much younger. And I have certain natural inclinations toward certain fields of magics. And you see me use fire spells all the time. It's not just a preference. Maybe just being around me enough is unlocking that in you. It's really all conjecture, but there was definitely some kind of resonation when we both cast that spell.
I agree. I don't know exactly, and
Maybe
I'm
we can test further.
admittedly trying not to get too carried away with thinking that I have any unique qualities necessarily. It's something that I had a bad habit of when I was younger. Just I'm smarter than a lot of the kids around me, so I think it's something to look into for sure. Maybe he like inhales deeply, but he holds it a moment and then he's like, I might need to call my mother. See if she knows anything, as loath as I am to do so.
That might be a good thing to do. There's no guarantee there's any connection, but I strongly suspect that my grandfather had arcane connections as well. He was unfortunately, very ill by the time I got around to trying to talk with him about it and never really got an answer, but I do think he knew something. So, if you have any avenues to explore in that regard,
I'll let you know. And of course, maybe, if I get the finances, I'll start ordering some books that we can read together.
Yeah, that'd be great. If you want to meet up sometime, we can do some further exploration of this. Maybe we can show you a few extra things to try out. See if we can duplicate that resonance again as well.
I think that would be worthwhile, for sure. Oh, what a night.
Yeah.
Hope Officer Cooper's doing all right. He's not what I expected.
I don't know what to make of him.
He just seems like he's too nice of a guy to be from the FBI or whatever department he was from. I actually don't remember too well. Pretty sure it was some FBI organization.
He said FBI, though he is not active currently, which could get him into some trouble if he keeps watching that around.
I wonder if something happens. He seemed just very earnest. Says that there might be some kind of... This is conjecture, of course, but based on standard psychology, I feel like there was something that he wanted to protect before.
Yeah. I don't think he's given us the specifics, but it sounded like he had some kind of, supernatural encounter and got really obsessed with it.
Yeah, and you're right. We probably shouldn't talk about people when they're not around either. Just a bad habit of mine. I tend to break people down just so I can figure things out. It's very helpful when it comes to security and protection.
Understandable.
Anyway, yeah, we'll have to connect on this. You can actually just drop me off on the corner right up there. My flat is at the top of that building over there.
Gotcha. All right then. Well, I guess we'll connect later, later in the week or the next, and see if we find anything else out.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I find anything out. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll need to book a flight out to Salem.
All right. Pulls over.
All right.
Take care.
Have a nice night. And he kind of takes his stuff and heads up to like a large. It's a very nice like. It could almost be a hotel, but it's actually just one of those really fancy like inner city apartment buildings.
All right. And yeah, he'll drive away.
That's it for us.
Leave with both of them heading off to their separate abodes. We have Tobias ascending in an elevator, stepping out into a very, very nice flat as a way to put a penthouse. And Audrus returns home. And the others?
Yeah, there is a, like normal, pretty quick. Cooper drives a little too fast sometimes. As he makes his way home, gets inside, sighs deeply, and goes and tries to find what box he has his shower stuff like shoved into. Actually have to like take care of myself now.
I should also probably buy more shirts. Not right now, since it is late.
I can get to that at some other point, I bet.
Walmart's always there for you, though.
Maybe sell the shirts.
I probably find some like random shirt too, probably in the same box. I don't feel like anything is labeled in his home. It's all just like shoved things from his his old apartment just into all the boxes he had, like let it go. So it's probably like a shirt. It is like a very faded Metallica shirt.
Do you think, out of curiosity, that Jacob is the type to have like dumb pun or joke shirts, like for off-duty hours or just sleeping?
He might have like one or two that were definitely gifted, but
I have great news for you. You definitely have a gifted shirt that has Bigfoot on it with like a little like bandage around his elbow, and it says Sasquatch and blood loss. And it's a blood donation like drive shirt.
Of course.
Sasquatchin.
Yeah, there's like that. Of the two shirts he finds is an old very faded Metallica shirt. Then
for people not believing that you saw a cryptid, being gifted a cryptid shirt kind of burns.
Yeah, it definitely was gifted to him like a before, or like he probably did a blood drive part of like a department thing. Was given the shirt. It's like, oh, that's kind of fun. And now seeing it, like, ugh.
It gets shoved deeper into a box.
Yeah.
It's actually pristine. It's the only good piece of clothes he has, but he refuses to wear it.
Oh yeah, the Metallica shirt doesn't smell the greatest, but it smells better than some of the stuff he's been wearing recently. So, and then actually showers.
Wow, splurging.
Bro, do your laundry.
No, there are cryptids to kill. For every
the laundry will run by itself.
For every laundry load I run, there is a Bigfoot not being kicked.
Fucking wretched. Liam, guy who works at a gas station.
When it kind of cuts to Liam driving home, there's just the song "Born to Be Wild" blaring on the.
Tyke's hanging out the window, tongue lolling.
And he's like really into it too. He's just he's actually like singing along with the song and kind of like dancing with Tyke. As he drives up to a pretty nice house, actually, all things considered. 2-story home. He kind of turns off his sound system just before he like pulls in to not disturb the neighborhood too much. He's like, all right, let's go, Tyke. And he gets him out of the car, locks it up, and does the double click on his keys to make sure that it's locked. And then kind of tiptoeing and sneaking into the house, he kind of like comes into the kitchen with like a little note that says, I know you said that you were eating somewhere else, but there's some food in the oven for you. And you like go and open up the oven, which has been set to just like keep stuff warm. Pulls out like a little pork chop and baked potato. Shares the pork chop with Tyke. As just kind of like really feeling it himself. Kind of picks up the ear, flicks a little bit of dried blood away. It's probably fine. And yeah, eats up and then goes to sleep for the night.
All right. So, as everybody drops off to sleep, showering, patching up wounds, changing into better clothes, I do have to ask, did Tobias and Audra sleep?
Yes, of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah. We just, had a
Well, one of the other
conversation.
nights, Tobias just stayed up forever.
It was a very, eye-opening experience that happened,
Tobias is overly serious. He, unless needs to, goes to bed at specific times and gets up early and works out every day. And though he might get to the gym a little later, he's not planning on breaking that just because he fought some fox creature last night.
If it were able to be even more insulted, it would be. You just go about your day like nothing happened. Yeah, over the course of the next couple of days, eventually the ringing in your ears kind of stops. It's not quite so sensitive, though wearing headphones or an earbud in the injured ears of choice is not the best idea until it kind of heals up a little. But you guys are able to put yourselves together slowly over time. Anything anybody's working on. Sadly, we can't go ahead and have the discussion of what mission comes next without our rejoining party member next game.
No worries.
But if you guys have anything that you would like to work on, or interactions, you guys can still just meet up and hang out.
I think Tobias is what's it called? It's like your friend, not friendship level, but it's like you need to do their personal quests to get to the next part.
There's a lock on their social link.
You can't enter their house.
You can only text. Yeah, you can't come in the house.
He's got to call his mom and figure out what happened, if anything, and dive into his past, and
All right, let's roleplay out him calling his mom.
God, no.
Why not? Could be interesting.
It could be, for sure, but it would be very lengthy, I imagine.
Come on, Vale. Tobias.
Sorry, to do what? I was reading something.
I was trying to egg on him calling his mom and y'all role-playing it out.
If you go ahead and do it.
Well, the only thing I was going to handle was getting myself a suppressor.
Yeah, you have a license to carry, so I don't know. You pull some strings or are able to just get it. It's fucking America. You can get it. Who's gonna fucking stop you? If you can't find anything where you are in the very real Sunport City, you will just hop across the other side of the mountains and go to the other side of the state. And you'll find somebody who can hook you up. You just have to listen to some rambling about the government for a little bit.
Hiding the fact that he was employed by the government, just nodding along.
But yeah, so was Tobias going ahead and doing that?
Well, I mean, I wanted to give you some time to consider.
Okay. Yeah, the conversation, I know what I'm doing for your luck. I do have that figured. But if you want a more seamless conversation, I can plot that out until next time.
I mean, whatever works. So Tobias's course of action is, he's just doubling down all the occult stuff, especially with this recent events. It's kind of like, okay, it's not just like the supernatural stuff, like the zombies and magic and anything, but there's also cryptids, which is this other kind of strange category. And he also learned that the sword he has at least works, and he's not sure if it's because it is actually like a replica of Caliburn, or if there's some other quality. There's just a lot. He's enraptured in, being dunked into the supernatural world, and he also has that thing with needing to call his mom, and I believe I put it in the background that he and his mom were not necessarily on the best of terms. She just kind of left when he was in his teens, because his dad was not exciting enough.
Which really stings for Catholics too.
It is. It caused a lot of problems.
Discord in the family.
And his father's side was the stronger Catholic side of things, and so he's gone over to, you know, a few dinners in England a few times to have his family not say out loud how sorry they are for him by, you know, painfully avoiding the conversation about what's happened with his mom. And he never really knew his mom's side of things anyway, but he did live with his mom and dad in Salem, and his mom was originally from Salem. That's where his parents met, so.
You can't see it, but I'm doing the slow nod. As he's looking into things, the app does, because you guys scanned the fox, fill in some information. So most things that you could ask about a fox, you now have added to the list. You can look up your previous bounties and see its stats, as if this is just a silly game. The fox is a monster classified under parasite, as its motivations or actions are defined by a want to infest, control, and devour. Has powers you didn't necessarily get to see outright. Either there wasn't a time to use it, or I forgot. It has the ability Predator's Gaze. And essentially it makes people unnerved for a prolonged period of time around it, i.e., for the rest of the scene, you guys would have had a -1 if you had fallen, if you had failed an act under pressure to its gaze. It also has meat shields. It creates husks using its saliva as a pseudo-embalming fluid. It's able to quickly digest things, but there is something about its like mouth and throat that allows it to strangely mimic both people's faces, heads, and their voices. It learns nothing extra about the person and does have to watch. It seems that this creature, as it grows in strength and in size, has moved from animals to people. Though there might have been a time where it also possessed maybe people's dogs, or other such creatures people like. It's noted to have a weakness to the scent of ammonia. It tends to avoid it. But it is noted to be a mortal beast.
Tobias breaks everything down into spreadsheets. He attempts to quantify physiological qualities with supernatural compared to the two events before. Mark them on lists, you know, rate them, and compile as much information as he can into a bunch of spreadsheets that make no sense to anyone except nerds like him.
Because you guys didn't scan the ghost, you don't have information on it, but you do have similar information on zombies. Funnily enough, the zombie in the app is actually classified as a minion. It is noted to be a devourer. Its motivation is to I customized that one. It's the same classification as it is in the book, though. But they are painless and resilient. But you notice that there is no mention of being infectious.
Not Walking Dead zombies.
Their weakness is that, of course, damages to the head. They are very slow and have a noted lack of intelligence beyond what they are ordered to do, if anything. And salt. And of course, holy, which you have recognized, purifying things. It seems that these zombies, rather than an infection or a parasite, are more spiritual in nature. That they are heavily related to summoning a magic brought into the body rather than some strange biological thing. But this is the information you know so far about the creatures that you face.
Another moment passed a while back, but Cameron, when you got out of the car, I thought for sure after I drove away you were gonna be like, and I go to a completely different building from the one I pointed out.
Nah, he has no reason to deceive anyone.
He's just very careful, so I didn't know if he was gonna. I thought he might.
I mean, he lives in a pretty well, like, it's one of those apartment buildings that has a doorman that you have to like go in and then see, and you need a key in order to go up to the floor. He's also got the penthouse at the top, so climbing in through other methods would be very unlikely.
Bond music plays. Climbing the building. Got you. Man, what a fancy dude. Penthouse.
I can't wait to see the armory.
He does have an armory.
We got Batman.
Instead of stalking the night, being vengeance, he's on TikTok.
He's the man bat for cryptids.
I guess at the very least, one thing that does occur after Cooper goes out, buys himself a suppressor, which tracking this because it's important for my character, kind of story personal for him. Suppressors around like $400. He spends that.
All right. Bet.
And he also, with this like money he was just received, thankfully, like, oh god, this helps a lot, as he siphons $1,000 from his bank account, puts into a separate account, a savings account, and schedules a payment to one Austin Cooper for the end of the month, leaving
Our
him
camera sees what the characters do not.
leaving him $55.
Oh man.
The camera sees the total sent is 5,000.
What's going on?
Mystery. It's probably something real secret, dark, and will be a real twist.
Probably important to his backstory.
Maybe it's shady.
Maybe.
But yeah, he also does not go out and buy new shirts. He has $55.
Go to the thrift store.
He needs food more than he needs clothes.
Those
And
55
he
are
barely
going
needs
for
the
groceries.
food because he's just supplementing his entire diet with coffee.
Yes.
We just need to invite him out more so he can eat.
He's just the friend everybody pays for. Like, it rotates who picks up the bill that time, and just everybody just happens to skip him.
If they ever go out to eat,
Kid working at a gas station covering your ass to eat.
if there's ever like going out to eat, and it's not like predetermined, hey Cooper, I got your meal. It's like he orders like the $7 appetizer and a water cup and like nothing else. Or the free water that comes with the table, but like that's it. And then he scarfs down any form of like free bread or chips they bring.
Well, we got time. I might say that I invite y'all out to chat. Though I was gonna ask Vale.
That's me.
There was two things, which maybe will come to one depending on what you say, but if I want to like try to, you know, learn new magic, basically, could I like during like our in between thing, like I don't know, somehow try to find a new like tome or, you know, devise a new spell somehow.
In your
and-
playbook, how does it say that you learn new spell effects?
Well, it just has the regular magic and the big magic, and the big magic is stuff that is hold on, it has a specification. It says what the keeper might say to do. So big magic is when you want to do something that's more than the use magic effects, and you tell the keeper what you want to do, and the keeper will either tell you that it takes, you know, days or weeks of research for the magic ritual. I have to experiment with the spell, and there'll be lots of failures before you get it right. You need some rare, weird ingredients and supplies. The spell will take a long time, you know, hours or days to cast. You need a lot of people, 2, 3, 7, 13 or more to help. Spell needs to be cast in a particular place or time. You need to use magic as part of a ritual, perhaps to summon a monster, communicate with something, or bar a portal you opened. And it will have a specific side effect or danger. So those can be for anything that isn't the usual abilities.
Okay. So you want to learn
and I can
big
send
magic?
you. I'll send that to you just for reference. I want to like be able to do something like mage armor, where I could like cast a spell and give myself, you know, some armor. And, you know, it could be like temporary just for like, you know, the scene or however it works. But you know, something that could give me armor. You know, without actually wearing physical armor, because it doesn't fit my aesthetic.
The things we do in the name of character aesthetic. And also not looking like a freak walking around like you're going to go to a Ren fair when there isn't one in town.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. I will say that for this, you would probably want to experiment. I'll say that it is not something you're just able to research and find a book on, because it's kind of outside the normal like purview of magic, except if you're in D&D. But because you already have a shield spell, you could potentially experiment to create it. It will take some time, especially because you've been building off of barely anything, but now you know that it's all real and that there's other out there, and if there's other out there, someone must have pushed it. So you'll do the same.
Yeah, I mean, at least he has some experience in the past. You know, expanding upon his magical capability, because he started out, you know, like making tiny flame as a kid, you know.
All right, we will give you a clock, and we will put, since this is your first one, do you want it to be more powerful, or do you want it sooner?
Interesting question. I will say he'll go with more powerful.
Okay. Somewhere on a note, on your like character sheet, not like the regular character sheet, but the like bio section where you can write things. I would like you to create a clock. This clock will have 10 pie slices. To make this the more powerful version, you will fail 10 times. Well, 9 times technically. And on the 10th, when the clock is full, you will succeed at the spell.
All right, mark it down.
I will only allow you to count the failures if they are done during the game and make sense for you to be working on. So, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be in combat, but you can't just walk down the street while everybody's talking on the way to a hunt, constantly casting it.
Yeah. If it's not in physical combat, I imagine the most that would be allowed is like, 1 time per like downtime.
Yeah, once per scene, or downtime rather. So go ahead and put you can do it once per downtime in between jobs, and anytime you try to use the magic in combat, your cost is that you're not taking part if you fail. So those are the ways that you will fail your slices. I will have to do balancing to figure out how powerful it would be.
Mhm.
But just like any other, like, you'll have to use magic once you create it to actually enact it each time.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that will be what we will work with for now.
Okay.
And we will see
Sounds
how it
good.
goes for future people making magic or other items and stuff.
Sounds like a plan. Anyone else have something? Does Liam do something super shady off screen that none of the rest of us see?
Super shady.
Liam, like, his parents leave for the day. He's got the day off. Waits till the door closes. Expression changes. Turns to a back door that we don't know the inside of. It's locked. The lights in the hallway are flickering. He brandishes a kitchen knife.
I got a better one. As his father, All Might heads off to work. I'm just kidding.
No.
In reality, the shady thing that he does as soon as his parents leave is he like looks after them and immediately puts his feet on the coffee table and like digs in his nose. Definitely would have gotten scolded for that. He can do whatever he wants while they're not here, though. Tyke is also allowed on the couch while parents are out.
True, though.
Except they kind of like know, but like, because there's dog fur everywhere, but you kind of just go, I just found my clothes, sorry. So Tyke keeps getting away with it.
I can't wait for the progression of Liam's story where Liam's dad pulls a, like, I didn't want a damn dog, and then, like, adores the dog a week later, and, like, best friends, like, oh, I got a little, like, special steak just for him.
It does get you out of the house far more than you ever have, because border collies are not chill.
True.
Tyke would like to run and also jump and also catch things. Some of those things you can kind of like automate with toys if you buy them, but Tyke would like you to go outside with them.
And he does. And he still has to keep up his workout regimen of 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day.
God.
He's got to unlock his One Punch Man powers.
That's how you become a chosen one.
He has the shirt that says "Train like Goku." I can see it.
Now, when you become a chosen one, your hair has to fall out.
Oh no. He was warned about this, though.
Tobias is the kind of individual who just when he's in something, you have to remind him that the rest of the world exists. After that point, he's completely fine to like hang out and do whatever. It's not like he's antisocial necessarily. He just, gets a little hyper focused.
If there are moments of like hanging out, Cooper, I feel like Cooper just doesn't bring it up under the aspect of like, let's go do it. Wait, that costs money. And it's that pure like, I will have to ask for like a handout
Tobias
to go do a thing. So
Tobias always like whenever if there's like a meetup, Tobias always pays, or he takes you guys somewhere fancy and pays.
Dang. He's gonna take us somewhere fancy? I was gonna invite everyone to like the local like diner, like it's not fast food, but it's not fancy.
you're getting an $8 burger, and by God, it is $8.
Yeah, no, Tobias takes you guys to like a bar, but like one of the really fancy clientele style bars. And he just has a prepaid tab that has like $1,000 on it.
Gotcha. We couldn't bring Aza's character because no minors at the bar.
Have they said
Not minors, but
they're in college, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in college, but I don't know if
that could be under 21 depending on when.
Depending.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what I mean.
I don't think we've asked Mikshi how old they are.
But the places Tobias goes are not like only 18 plus or anything. It's just where he goes commonly to meet some of his clientele or where he works. He also makes nearly 13K a month, so
Oh,
God, I wish I could relate.
oh my God.
go into cybersecurity.
I don't
Maybe
know how
I will.
computers work. I know how to shoot a gun. That's all I
I'm
got.
learning.
What scale is that under? Weird? Just kidding.
See, the funny thing is, I can totally give Tobias as much money as I want because the whole prot thing with the expert is I just have things. I don't need to buy like anything actually in game. So it's like, is that King Arthur's sword? Yep. I just happen to have it.
I don't know. Look at him. Look at Cooper. The duality of man.
The pure duality of man.
Never become a public servant.
True.
Yeah, it doesn't pay.
It doesn't pay, and then you see the criminals getting paid a lot, and you're just like,
Yeah.
See, Tobias has that level of income where he's so good at his job as a specialist, he also does, not counseling, but, or is it counseling? No, it's,
Consulting?
consulting. He does consulting as well, which just makes him absurd amounts of money for some reason. Consultants make ridiculous bank.
They do.
You know, you just got to be like either super business savvy or like a genius.
Alright. Well, then I guess do your characters like do anything else? Any interactions? We can just end an hour early. 45 minutes, I guess.
I mean, do you guys feel like your characters are at a level where we could have a hangout and actually be like, so how are you as a person? Because most of our interactions so far have been on the job.
I mean, Liam is always up for chilling.
You're up for hanging with your nomies?
Some might say it by the way, yes.
Quentin, I will warn you about the experience rule. It doesn't count if Devin laughs at it.
It's his name. Not even
Puns
a
in
pun.
my good Christian Eldritch Monster Hunting tabletop game.
No, it's not even a pun. It's just his name.
Yeah, puns are where the line is drawn in this Callthulu game. Like, just got
Child
done
murder
fighting
acceptable.
a fox
Puns?
monster puppeting a child
Alright.
corpse. Nothing. That's like a regular Tuesday.
You know, I guess a very legitimate question to ask at this point is, when are we likely to have our next session? Because I feel like if we did a lot of character digging, and then we're going to be missing like a couple week sessions, might be a little rough. And if we're going to be missing some sessions anyway, we might as well just have Wong Wong along for the ride.
Aza's already confirmed good for next week. All of their like work shifts will be over, which is what the hang up was this time. We could get it swapped. So we two at least are good. Is anybody not good for next weekend?
I'm completely good. The only hang-ups that I know of that
If
will
you get
come
sick,
up, no,
I will
I've
put you
been.
in Minecraft.
Oh, I'm still powering through that migraine. It's lessening, but I fucking hate it. But the only things I think coming up are a nebulous trip back home to meet the folks, which I haven't seen for a while, like end of August, early September, and then I for sure am planning something end of October, but that's like far off that it doesn't really matter. So I don't have anything that would fuck with start time, unless for some reason in the next few Saturdays I have to stay at work till like 5 o'clock. Unlikely, but we'll see. And if that does come up, I will notify and then be like, I'll be like 30 minutes late.
Mine does fuck up next week because one of my coworkers is having their birthday, and I guess they gave them the day off that day, so I'm covering that shift.
I'm gonna hunt you for sport.
Sorry.
So you will not be
My
available
twin!
next week.
It's 1 to close, yeah.
It's okay. He just has to cover a shift at the gas station. Can't get around it. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
The only thing I have for sure is in like a little over a month, I will be at a wedding on the 16th, which is a Saturday. So,
Alex, plan your fucking family trip then.
I might actually just be like, oh yeah, the 16th of September works really well. Just like double up on it.
I mean, you guys will be gone for my birthday,
That would be a shame.
which is so rude of you.
I am so sorry. Funny enough, we'll be swapping sides of the state because the wedding is in Wenatchee.
Yeah, I have to go over to Kitsap.
So you guys just drive by each other and I'm like, bye.
Yeah, just wave. At least like that one intersection point that we could in Seattle.
That's true.
Actually,
we do take the same. Oh, well, no, because you have to go. I don't go over Snoqualmie.
I take a different pass, but there still is an intersecting point where like we could meet.
Y'all could just meet up at like, I don't know, whatever exists there.
At whatever exists in Seattle. Hey though, I won't be missing your birthday because we'll have our Friday game.
True.
Unless you're doing something on Friday, then never mind.
I have no clue.
That is how it be.
So we're missing Liam next week. Is that cause enough to cancel next week, or are we just gonna?
You guys should be good because you can go ahead and decide the bounty via the app and the server in between games.
And if the mission is still going. The next session after that is just him racing over after his shift. So.
That could lead to such a cool story moment. Oh, like the Deus Ex Liam.
Or we find him already kidnapped.
Hey guys!
He's just like wiggling in a fucking spider web. And then
I
you
was
just
trying
hear
to
even
catch
more
up.
muffled and just like a pillowcase of web, a bark.
Literally, yeah, Shaggy Scooby shit.
Or the fucking or Tyke like shows up in the middle of the mission and just starts like barking. It's like, what? Liam's fallen down a well. Fucking grudge crawls out of it. Oh god.
And also, I mean, you at least, it seems, can relatively like check your phone during work, right, Devin?
Yeah.
So at very least, like we can keep it up on the app to discuss it. So you'll be in the loop.
For sure.
Have any of the jobs changed, or are we just picking from the existing ones?
I will add 2 to replace the ones that you guys have done.
Okay. And we can probably figure out which one, before the next game, and then we can, via the chat, and then we can, reveal it the next session.
True.
Do we have the missions pinned, by the way?
I'm just gonna make a channel and add all the missions there. That way
That's a good
I
idea.
can update them over time.
Sounds good.
So what I'll propose is we'll have the in character like meetup next time, where we can bake in the decision that we're going for, rather than spending session time, deliberating necessarily.
Liam just has to leave early. He's like, well, I got a shift to make. Good luck, don't die.
Take your break, call in from work, and we'll be like, oh yeah, like Liam also is currently taking his break, just chiming in on what
Please
job
play the
he'll do.
beginning of the session from like the bathroom at work.
That would be so funny.
That would be pretty funny.
Method
Obviously
acting.
yoinking into your break, but I think that would be a really good effect.
Probably worth it in the end.
Yeah, it's fine. Just mute when you're not eating. Or mute when you're eating and talk otherwise. It'll work fine. It'd be cool.
Frame method acting. You are role playing that you're working while you're working.
God, we're such method actors.
Well, you're role playing that you're eating while you're eating, talking about how you have to go to work while at work.
Regular Robert Downey Jr.
Well then, I guess that is it.
Yeah, I guess that's what we got for this week anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I guess we'll go ahead and do experience then.
Yeah.
I guess that's also just kind of the quality of Monster of the Week.
Yeah, I can just kind of end at any time. It's whenever it fits for the story.
XP's quick because it's like 4 questions. So
D&D's XP could be quick. It could just be combat.
It could be quicker, and it could be the cursed milestone.
That's
It
true.
could just be Milestone. The number of people are just like, we don't use XP, we use Milestone, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
Stay away.
I don't like it. I like the reward of you did things, and it's like, yes, ADHD brain loves that. Reward me for play.
honestly,
I get the logic of this here story moment just happened, and like you have that climactic story point of an arc, and then it's like, and you level. Feels
It's
great.
also so fucking funny when things like Cameron being 1 experience point off leveling and having to wait for the next session while everybody else got to level up. F to
I don't
tyranny.
know why I had to be so targeted.
It's you're the bad luck gamer. You asked for this.
It is.
your branding.
I
It's
am
the fiber of your being. All right. Well, our
Yeah,
end of
look,
session. Did we conclude the current mystery?
Yeah.
Yes. Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
I think
They were already dead.
I mean,
No, it
I
doesn't
mean,
count for you
future
guys.
death.
It counts
Future
for.
death.
oh, I see.
It counts for like people. Yeah.
Does the person that would have died from this monster if we hadn't been there count?
It's not certain.
Yes, it does.
Does it?
I will allow it. You did technically, if you guys had fucked around and hadn't gone to go back to get the rock, you instead would have encountered it when it targeted the government official.
Ha!
And they had no characters, so they would have died.
I did the right thing by trying to help a kid. I guess I think I am gonna become religious. You know, like you do the right thing and you're blessed in some way.
Saint Jacob.
I mean, there's a moment where literally Cooper is reeling from the fact that I guess God is real, and he has to come to terms with that. He doesn't know. What to
Also,
think.
he might be King Arthur.
Yeah. Also, King Arthur was real. I guess. I don't know, man. Just
King
Cooper.
Arthur and Jesus. It's actually like the same guy. It just keeps popping up in history. It's all Jesus all the way down.
Every main combat is horrific because he's going to be handed something by Tobias that's going to shatter his worldview.
Yeah, and they're just gonna keep doing things that's gonna keep shattering your worldview too. It's gonna get so much worse.
They say the Buddha held this. Hold this.
God.
This is literally Malcolm's razor.
I got a piece of the turtle that holds up the world.
Just like
It's just
those
like
moments.
it is turtles all the way down. Sobs. And then they hit you with the but it's also everything else simultaneously all at once.
I don't know.
Jacob
what's
starts
real.
bleeding out the ears like it's the fox. Alright, did we learn something new and important about the world?
There are cryptids.
That's not new.
It's new to us.
Oh, fox husks are claimable on the app. That's interesting.
If we just turned in bodies and hid all of the evidence.
Yeah, you did.
But I didn't want to get, like, you know, unfairly, you know, charged with this crime, so...
Fair.
Yeah.
Also, you got paid for it.
True.
I'll roll them together and do a yes. I'll count it as enough. Did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
What the fuck's going on with Tobias and magic and his mom?
There is indeed some Jacob has wired money to someone, and Tobias has an interesting family relation, and also something weird that connects to either Audris or just magic.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So we got over 2. So everybody mark 2 experience on top of whatever you might have earned through virtual failures that you didn't correct.
Level up.
And the Audris protecting Liam. If you didn't add that earlier.
Yeah, I did.
I'll level up next session.
Everybody high five. Go team.
Hell.
I'm getting
Alright.
very close to that 5 XP boost. Or 5 improvement boost.
Damn. I have 2 improvements.
Yeah, what? How many have you done?
I've allowed myself to fail more.
That is true.
The expert is learning.
Yeah.
He's just taking the much hotter and dangerous path to do so.
Your
Yeah.
unluck is helping you level way faster than us.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what's
this
funny
game.
is I've
You
only
can fail.
used luck on something that I actually succeeded on.
Yep.
You just wanted to succeed cooler.
Oh, you even
Yeah.
used luck just like we did, and you are just like leagues ahead of us.
They're just failures, man. I got like 2 failures last session or something like that.
It's just being that bad luck gamer.
I will say the rest of us roll surprisingly hot in this system.
That's true. I have succeeded a lot, and it's hurting my XP gain. I'm too
Yeah,
good.
you guys cranked out some really good rolls, and yeah, unfortunately, the system does in fact reward Cameron's shitty luck. Downside is the stronger you get, the more likely you are to succeed.
Yeah, that's
So
my
it slows it
problem.
down.
Because I just upgraded my toughness to now I have a +2. because I need to be doing combat. And next level, I know what I'm taking. Another playbook move. I'm gonna be taking the divine, so my fists count as, or just unarmed strikes count as 2 wound messy attacks.
Pretty good.
I would like to be able to melee and
I
round
know
out
you're gearing up for the
Leon.
Flatwoods monster.
I need to get ready. I gotta train. There's a punching bag that's just ready with the picture
That looks
on
like
it.
the Flatwoods monster.
It's the final countdown.
I can't wait to have my Rocky training montage just beating up a dumb looking cryptid.
I'm so sad no one ever asked me for advice. I got it once at the very beginning when we thought everything was an ARG.
I asked. It was me.
There wasn't a moment to ask for advice like, hey Tobias, what do you think we should be doing in mid combat?
At least nobody is playing the oh god, what are they called again? It's
What do they do?
they're like the weird person that was right about everything.
Oh, the like conspiracy theorist one? The spook.
No, that's not.
No, the spooky is what Mingxi is.
That's what I'm thinking of.
What do y'all think of this?
Looks really good. I mean, 2 armor is nothing to sniff at.
Fucking
right.
never again.
It's a great name for it, for sure.
Saving people sucks. Fuck that.
Oh, it's the flake. That's what you're
Yeah, the flake. But at least we don't have a flake who asks you for advice and deliberately ignores you to get a +1.
Just fucking evil. Alright, I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick.
Alright. Well, I think that's...
Yeah, the divine one is gonna be so nice, so I can properly live out my Leon S. Kennedy style gameplay. Shoot a cryptid in the face, do a roundhouse kick.
Oh my god. Look at this.
Don't you have a thing? You don't have a thing that does act under pressure. No, Cam does. No, yeah.
Yeah, I use my sharp rather than cool.
Yeah. That's
I'm
really funny.
I'm loving Tobias as a character. He's just it's hard to ever see like how a genius actually acts in practice. Like so much media tries to play up how genius characters operate, but they only do that by making them sound really smart or just like be able to anticipate what's going on.
Oh shit, Cam. Look at this.
Oh god.
Oh no, don't show me that.
Why would you do this?
That's pretty cool.
I might not take that because my character will become too powerful if I do. I'll have
Fucking
so
light
many
starts
things.
beaming out of his eyes. He just fucking ascends.
Well, I can get +3 sharp,
Yeah.
and
I can
I
get
already
+3
use sharp
cool.
for like the normal sharp things plus staying cool under pressure. If I did this, oh my god, there would be so much I could just use with sharp, and that'd be kind of nutty.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that I can't sub out a lot of my stuff with cool. I can do like help out with cool, or like specifically when I'm assisting another person and like not getting hurt, but I can't like attack with cool or something, which is sad. So I gotta have like toughness and cool be really high,
What the hell is this?
which it looks like I can only get my toughness to 2.
That seems badass.
I need to get that armor so that I can protect and attack. So far, every time I attack, I get my ass handed to me.
That is kind of the game. That's why I have 2 armor and it's fucking awesome. I love it.
I get brutalized.
I mean, this is
Yeah,
not the
it's
point
a
of the
brutal
game.
Hey, Cam, you want to be Sherlock Holmes?
Oh no! Devin's out here. Be like, hey Cam, here's the meta build in case you didn't know.
We're gonna just
Just
make the
combine.
I'm
bias.
not even searching for stuff for you. I'm looking at what I want to grab.
Yeah, this is just like, hey, I need to get some like combat lessons, and then just turn into Sherlock Holmes.
I promise I'm not going to take all these, but I now know that they exist. And they all sound really cool, but I do think the next one I'm going to take is I'm going to get a Haven option. I'm going to add a Mystic Library. Sounds like
Nice.
narratively, that's the next step.
As soon as
can't.
you take that, you will be able to hear Audrey's clawing at your door. Has broken into the penthouse. Let him in.
I can't wait to
See.
get the improvement to command an agency team of monster hunters to get more FBI agents in the mix.
You better sell that so fucking well.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
will bring down the hammer that is my foot on you. Because you are in no position because of your
No.
self-chosen position with the current FBI standing.
no, it's purely a thing where if, however his story goes, if he can get back in the FBI and be like, cryptids and monsters and shit are real. Also, God, apparent, I don't know, man. But like, that's all real.
You
Here's
just have to
proof.
collect enough like trophies and just drop them all
And then
out
that
of
be
the fucking app.
the only reason I save up for either a get command of an agency team or the advanced improvement, get some or all of the other player hunters hired by your agency. They get to deal with the agency move as well as salary and benefits.
Also, don't worry,
How do you
I'm
guys
protected
feel
against
about-
Audrist.
How do you guys feel about a collar and leash held by the government?
You guys want to be FBI agents?
I mean, technically, one of the very advanced ones you can pick up later is we all get hired by the
Yeah,
agency.
but I like. Yeah, do you want to just be an FBI agent?
No. I make
Probably-
way more money
probably-
than they do.
Probably pays better than a gas station attendant, though, I'd imagine.
Let's see.
I think it'd be really funny if it's one of those things where they make less money than like garbage, just like folks who should actually make more because it's really dangerous to do what they do.
According to let's see. According to Indeed, my character as a special agent should be making around $109,000 annually.
I make
Except Ras is
155,000.
I shouldn't show Alex that one.
Alex Boyce, you should show me that one.
You should. I was looking at Indeed. I already saw that one, but I'm tempted. But no, I can't pick it. It has to just happen. Because every
Yeah,
other game.
Quinn made a joke about me giving you a double deal. I'm like, no, fuck Alex. He will work for that. He will have to convince the whole party not to kill a fucking demon and to let him go through with the deal. Like, he gonna have to hunt it down and do it himself. I'm not giving him freebie demon shit. Everywhere
if-
he goes, he ends up with a deal with a demon or a devil.
What if you are like writing something and you're like, fuck, this would be so good narratively and it works perfectly. Would you scrap that just out of spite?
No, but I would bitch about it.
Exactly.
Alex,
the next
you
thing
have
you
work
need
to do.
The
No,
next thing you need to do, and it will happen purely out of your control as well, is damage my eye.
No, you're not getting another demon eye.
Not even a demon eye. I'm just saying I've had multiple characters lose their eye. And it
That
keeps
has happened.
happening. It keeps happening.
It is
Also,
weird. It
are
is
you
weird
sure
that it
that
happens
he
to
would
you a
take
lot.
a deal with the devil, considering your character has just realized recently that God must be real?
Well, it depends what version of Christianity. Can I just
That's
like
fair.
on my deathbed repent and like be saved and then
Listen, if the
heaven?
Mormons are real, just go with the devil anyway.
I mean, if the Mormons are real, then like the worst bet I'm getting is slightly shittier Earth kingdom, whichever one, the terrestrial kingdom when I die. I just can't go in the celestial one.
You also get a freebie if it's one of those pre-decided
I just can't
religions
go
where
in
it's like,
celestial.
oh yeah, no, it was always going to happen, like for you personally. So it's like, well, guess they accounted for me making a deal with the devil.
Yeah, just like you know those like gospel tracks and shit. Like at the end of all of them, it's like, yeah, if you just get saved, be born again, then boom, no consequences for your deal with the devil.
Game
you got
the
all
system.
this,
There
you
are
got
no
all
fallouts
this
for this.
rewards, and then you go to heaven at the end. So it's a win-win. I'll just do that.
Can I just say, most useful ability ever.
That is a bizarre move. Also, Tobias, how do you feel about buying forgiveness from the Catholic Church for an FBI agent friend of yours who has made a deal with the devil?
Where does the money go? If it works, how does this appease whatever forces are behind everything?
I'm sure they would tell you the money goes into taking care of the church, which is further serving God's word, and that's why you can buy forgiveness.
Yeah.
If that works, then what other things can he stock that can appease other gods?
We've created a monster.
You said you were going down the divine route, right, Alex?
I'm only picking it up because it's the only aspect I could find that gives me a really solid unarmed attack.
Oh, that's...
And I'd like to not have to.
I was gonna say, that's
default
pretty
to-
awesome.
What, you don't want to become a monstrous?
Probably not the vibe. Like I haven't found a lot of
Currently
other.
You are rocking the chosen one aesthetics.
Let's see. Because I mean, there's not a lot of other ones that I'm like super interested in getting. Because I kind of ran out of all the really cool whatever my class is. The professional. There's not a lot of other professional moves I think I want. The medic one would be handy, but I do tank damage, so.
I'm spoiled for choice on expert. Expert's really good.
Yeah, I pick up divine, and then I pick up the chosen one, and I am just God's chosen FBI agent.
God's specialist little boy.
Oh! Okay, I know what this is now. I was looking through this, I was like, what the fuck is the exile? It's the person who used to hunt monsters in the past and has been transferred to the future.
Yeah, switch to that class later. You're like,
Correct.
oh my god, my memories have returned to me.
I was back in time.
My name was Gerald.
Though I also gotta say, I really enjoy this ability. This is from the Gumshoe, which is a class I really enjoy, but that'd be another game.
The Gumshoe seems pretty interesting for sure.
I'm gonna protect the fuck out of you guys, okay?
There's another one that's also pretty good. It's
But Quentin, I want to hurt them.
With Never Again and my shield spell?
these two abilities also from the Gumshoe are so funny.
You know what's my meta build?
That's very true.
That's pretty. I'm just gonna keep buffing Alex. That's all I need to do.
Yeah. Just
Alex.
keep buffing me so I take the damage.
Everybody just buffs him. I'll just protect him. You have Tobias buff him, and then you have Liam help him.
I can't, like, I love the image of that.
Unstoppable.
Of just, like, there's one roided out FBI agent dressed like shit, dirty, just, like, vibrating with magic and, like, bloodlust, and there's just 3 people standing behind, 2 casting spells, 1 going, "Go, Cooper, go!"
There's like this like dramatic lead up, and the person's like, "Huh," and then they just get stabbed in the throat by one of Ming-Chi's knives. And it's like, you guys take too long.
It is Tobias's end goal to make Jacob look like a World of Warcraft character by the time we're done.
Hell yeah.
Just heavy armor, huge pauldrons, flaming sword, all in the modern
Divine
day.
aura.
divine aura, glowing eyes.
I
Yeah,
can't
get this
wait.
man a glory.
I can't wait for Cooper to become the like, don't worry, my dog doesn't bite, and it's just like a little like very feral FBI agent going cryptids.
Alex,
They got a real.
we need to get you to watch some Mexican wrestling.
I already watched normal wrestling, but they're not normal wrestling, WWE.
Normal wrestling.
Misspeak
Oh.
on that one. That is pretty cool. I would love that.
That's funny.
That is sick. No, I already watched. Listen, I looked at that and I'm like, I've been getting into the WWE. I kind of know what these words are.
The Luchador seems like a lot of fun.
It looks really cool. Every fucking like job is so cool in this game. I adore the class system.
And the best part is, it like no matter how we stack the cards in our favor, it's really hard to outpace the game. The monsters just hit so hard, and your characters are so squishy that like we're fighting beginner level stuff. Just imagine creatures that hit for 4 or 5 damage every turn.
Yeah, like we will need all this armor, like magic shields and shit.
Yeah, and some things will be like completely immune to damage until you figure out like the MacGuffin that you need or their weakness. It won't always be, you just gotta target the head, bro.
That's true.
And some things wholly won't do anything.
One day we'll need fire, and it'll be my day to shine.
I can't wait for the enemy that's just like really weak to gunshot.
It's just
It's
like,
called another
dude.
person.
That's true. We're never gonna be just fighting another person.
Yeah, no, there are minion types that are literally just, that's a person. It's like a fucking cultist or some shit.
I'm ready.
Oh my god. This is amazing.
Power snack.
When you take the time to eat your chosen foods and really enjoy them. +1.
I love the idea of like DM as we're running to the scene of
Damn,
like
this granola bar is fucking choice as shit.
It's literally
What is his
Scooby
favorite-
snacks.
Yeah.
The worst part is, it's the meddling kid archetype that has.
Yeah, literally
Yeah,
the
it's a
Scooby-Doo one.
reference.
Yeah.
Like, tons of these abilities are just straight up references to
The
something
gumshoe has a references to like Jessica Jones, Columbo, and the girl with the dragon tattoo. Like there's 3 of them in there that I saw. There's probably more. Asphalt Jungle is, I mean, a common like statement in like a lot of noir stuff. But yeah, like I like you know, we got your Liam snacks. I don't want to get captured for the XP bonus. Would you do it for a Liam snack? And
Both
then
Tyke and Liam, like,
and like that also leads to that bit, like you're trying to game it, you're like running to it, like, I quickly eat my trail mix, I really love it. It's like, I don't think you're enjoying it though.
why don't you take
No,
a
I
moment
really-
and stop and really focus in this moment?
Have the Ratatouille
Yeah.
moment.
You just gotta treat it like a cheese wheel. You just can't eat it in combat. You gotta sit down and hork that down somewhere outside of
And then he
combat.
gets
You just get
kidnapped.
clubbed in the back of the head and kidnapped.
Yeah, because we're not in Skyrim. You can't just scoff down a cheese wheel.
The power of the cheese wheel is so overwhelming. It fades to black, and then it's like, oh no, he just got kidnapped,
I love
and his little dog.
Tricks
too.
on them. He's juiced up.
Oh god, no.
Yep. Tyke starts talking. I adore that there's just 2 avenues to make Liam
Listen, if you
actually
want to
Shaggy
make Tyke
Scooby.
talk, you can.
We just have a more confident Shaggy, is what we have.
The screeching in my ears has like rattled something in there. How Tyke talks to me.
This is gonna turn into a Venture Bros episode real fast.
I
not
mean,
a good thing.
I know how I would do it if you made Tyke talk.
I'm over here trying to have a legit backstory, trying to have all kinds of interwoven elements with other characters, and we got fucking Shaggy over here.
I'm not saying I'm taking these. I'm just saying they are an option.
I'm
What's his
taking.
favorite gas station snack? This is the important question.
What are those things called? Like the twisters?
Tornadoes.
Tornadoes,
Yeah.
that's it.
That's his favorite?
They are good. Tornadoes do slap.
Some of them are bangers. Some of them kind of suck.
Oh,
But
I mean,
a lot of them
yeah.
are bangers.
What is that, Liam's?
Well, we're about at the 11 p.m. mark, so
That's
you're
fair.
all free to go if there's nothing else we want to talk or work on.
I would if I wasn't. I've been lightheaded and fucking for the last hour and a half.
You're so weak. When are you
I-
not dying?
I don't know, man. I got like this migraine and it's not going away. I've just
That's
had
what migraines do.
I normally I have just excruciating head pain for like a good few hours, and I'm in like some of the worst pain ever, and then it goes away. I've never had it like last for more than like a day or two.
Well, welcome to my hell. I get 3-day migraines sometimes.
Yeah, it's so fun. I just like have constant tension in my head, and I just am lightheaded and dizzy whenever I'm sitting up or standing or walking. It's great.
At least
Sorry to
mine
hear
aren't
that.
bad enough that I get like fucking migraine auras and shit.
That's always the worst. I've only had that a couple times. Ugh. But yeah, I'm gonna go and lay down.
Okay, well,
All right.
that'll be it for us. Thank you all so much for watching, those who are watching in the present and in the future. If you want to see more Monster of the Week, you can check out Aza_app. I'm going to try to remember to add their stuff to the description on these videos, as we'll be trying at least to be streaming there most Saturdays, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to about 8:30-ish, sometimes 8:30. So if you want to check out more Monster of the Week, check it out there, and I don't know, maybe I'll even do some videos on it so we do enough and I can kind of get some good extra information off from just playing in the game enough. But alright, that'll be it for us. Good night.
Good
Night.
night.
Nighty night.